That makes sense. Yeah, I'm pretty much like a simple cargo. I wear the same thing pretty much. I don't like being like all dressed up all the time.
Yeah. I do love a sundress because I feel like it's one thing. Like I pack a bag every day. That backpack goes where I go. And like if I can throw in an outfit that's like one material versus like two, like shorts and a top, it's like extra mental gymnastics later.
So it's just a convenient thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because like the amount of times that I've taught in the morning and need to shower and change, and I'll like pull out 2 shirts, no pants, and I'm like, great, now I can't change.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? Like it's just harder to pack.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Be like packing at 5 a.m. for the day, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm pulling out of my drawers.
Trust me, I feel that same feeling sometimes too. I don't. As a fellow backpack user, I carry my backpack with me along. What's some essential things that you try to keep in your backpack?
Chapstick goes where I go. Lotion. Can't have like ashy knees if I'm changing into shorts. Like shower stuff. I always have. I just like shower like 4 times a day because if I'm teaching hot yoga, I'm gonna shower after.
That makes sense.
So like I always have like body wash, shampoo, conditioner, like the little travel boys, you know. My laptop always.
Yeah.
That's also why it comes with me because I'm not trying to leave it in a hot car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mine's just, I don't have any clothing or hygienic stuff. My book bag is pretty much all just equipment, like my hard drive and laptop and stuff. I mean, but we're 2 different professions, so I guess it makes sense that you have that type of stuff. Yeah,
I'm like journal, laptop, because laptop is work. Like anything I'm not teaching, I'm doing on my laptop.
Okay.
Sometimes a tripod, but I feel like I always forget it, so I'm be using like shoe tripods.
You put in your shoe?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's ghetto, as some would say.
Yeah. Gotta make it work.
What's the last question? You said you journal.
Yeah.
What's as a person I'm new to journaling.
Yeah.
Tell me talk about. Wait, before I go any further, let me do the intro for guys. We're recording. Everything's good. Are you ready? They've been watching us this whole time.
Oh, nice. Okay, love it.
Welcome back to the show, guys. The #1 show on the Earth. Today we have another great person to have another great conversation here that I'm excited to talk to. The one and only Sidney Nelson. I'm sorry. Should I say your whole name? Is this a stage name you have?
No, that's perfect.
You know, usually people have like a stage name, like call me Lil Rel.
You can call me Sidney.
We have Sidney here with us today. I'm excited for this conversation. It's a different dynamic. You're not here releasing the album or anything. We're here to talk about yoga.
Yeah.
So for someone watching this for the first time, watching you, give us like a debriefing of who you are.
Yeah, geez. I am someone that teaches yoga. I manage a couple studios. I'm a former software person, so I used to work a corporate job, did the 9 to 5. Last year decided that it was kind of time to jump ship. So now kind of fitness, wellness, movement is a huge passion of mine. So kind of view it as a passion project, less so of a career, and just kind of seeing where it takes me right now. But yeah, just someone that loves different hobbies, exploring different areas of life, and meeting great people along the way.
Yeah, I want to get into all of that because I don't know anything. Me as a person, I don't know anything about yoga. I just know that you're of course flexible, but that's the only thing I know about yoga. Like I don't know anything else about it at all.
Yeah. So every time I introduce myself to someone new and I mention that I teach yoga, like a couple things happen. Like one is like, oh, cool, like what's your real job? Which is like always awesome. I'm like, oh, no, I am living the dream. Yeah. And then the other is like, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible enough. Which is even funnier because if you don't stretch, it's like this cycle. Like I don't stretch because I'm not flexible because I don't stretch. But like yoga's not flexibility at all. It's just moving your body.
Wow.
Like you might get flexible in yoga, but that's not the point. It might be your point of doing it, but it's not like that's what it's all about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to take this back. I'm going to get back on the journaling and everything, but I want to get the storyline all together, if I'm correct. So about a year or so ago, you was in your corporate job and you was looking for a way to get out, as some would say.
Yeah, basically. I was trying to figure out like how to plan it out. I knew it wasn't for me long term, but I also didn't really see a path forwards outside of that. So I was trying to figure out how to make something different work in the long run.
Okay. And what were some of the things that you saw that made you feel like that in that corporate job and environment?
Yeah. I think I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. I loved the technical work and I loved that aspect, but I didn't love the people I was serving. And I didn't love like the industry I was working in. And so it was this drive out of basically money, you know, proving a point, saying that, oh, I work in software, it sounds good, I'm perceived as someone that's smart. I cared so much about being perceived in a certain way that if someone asked me what I did for work, even though I was teaching at the time, I would always introduce myself as like, hey, I'm Sidney. And when someone asked me what I did for work, I would always say, oh, I work in software, period. I wouldn't even mention yoga, even though I cared so much more about that side of me. I would almost just be like, oh, I just work in software. And they'd be like, oh, so you're smart. I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. Wow. But I just cared so much about what other people thought that that's like the only reason. And like financial security, like there's like bigger picture things.
Exactly.
But it was my identity. It became my entire identity.
Yeah, that sounds like, I mean, and you went to college for that, of course, for software development.
So I went to college and I studied math and economics. So it was not quite software, but it was a really easy transition. Yeah. Okay,
I understand. And when you first realized, of course you probably didn't, when you started thinking about when you wanted to get out of the corporate world, you, of course, probably the next second didn't start thinking about being a yoga instructor. What was kind of that process from being at that corporate job to finding yourself as a yoga instructor?
Yeah. It was kind of a weird rabbit hole to get there, but my friend got me into lifting in college, and so he and I were basically lifting together every single day. I got really into it, and then I realized I couldn't touch my toes, and it was a huge problem. I still
can't touch my toes.
I know, most people can't. Most people can't, which is fine. But I was like, ooh, am I going to injure myself? So I was like, maybe I should stretch. Eventually, I got like into headstands and handstands, and that was like the big drive. I'm just way too competitive for my own good. And so I saw this picture of someone doing a headstand, and it was probably like somewhere beautiful on a beach, and I was like, I want that. Like, I want to be in that photo. And so I would try to do a headstand after a lift, and I just couldn't do it. And it was so frustrating for me to be a beginner at something where I felt so good and like such in a groove with lifting and with school and everything I felt like really good about. And then this one new thing that I thought should be easy wasn't. So the competitive side of me was like, okay, I'm going to practice this every day until I get it. And I started like learning more about yoga poses, like physical postures, like not any of the mindfulness aspect. I wasn't going to yoga classes. I was literally looking like either online or in like a yoga textbook basically of like poses and being like, okay, my knee is stacked over my ankle, my hip is externally rotated, all of the anatomical things to make sure I was doing it right. But I wasn't getting any of the actual physical, like being in person, the class benefits. And then my friend from college called me after graduating, and he was like, hey, I'm doing this yoga teacher training. You should do it. I know you do yoga. And I'm like, I haven't even been to a class before. I just do this in my living room. And so my FOMO kicks in, and a week later, I'm enrolled in yoga teacher training.
Wow.
with like no expectation to ever teach, but just wanted to learn more about the philosophy and anatomy behind it. And so 6-9 months later, 200 hours later, we get our little certificate, and I was actually kind of feeling really good about it and wanted to teach and just try it out, see what happens. So I was teaching once a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. So, and when you were first getting into yoga, what were some of the things that you first initially noticed? Like that was, I mean, just period, just when you first started getting started, what was the first things you started noticing?
There's so much happening. Like, there's so much in your body that's happening that lifting does not tap into. It's like this freedom of movement in your joints and your body, and like feeling a different sensation in a pose depending on the day. Mm-hmm. So if you show up one day, you could feel really great or really energized. And then if you feel really lethargic, or just like if you're not feeling great on a day, like the practice changes every single time you show up. Wow. And I don't know, I loved that feeling of being able to show up every day and have it be different every day. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It seems like, just listening to your story, it seems like the environment that you were in, you're just so intrigued of the vast difference that yoga could bring, you know, because, you know, you're used to going to school and your job and everything, but just the difference on how yoga is, how different and freeing that is.
Yeah.
You know, talk about, would you say that, looking back at your corporal job, if you had to go back and whisper in your ear back then, what would you say, like you know, like what would you say to yourself back then in that corporal job?
Oof. So much. So much. I would say it's not that serious, and it's not who I am. I wouldn't change it. Like, I wouldn't go back and I wouldn't change it, but I would say, like, it's not my identity. Mm-hmm. I think this whole switch from being in that environment, working overtime, trying my best to keep my head afloat, mm-hmm. like, it became me. And I could have done all the same things and separated work from myself. Not in a work-life balance, but more so in, like, that's a piece of me, but it's not the entirety of me.
I understand.
So yeah, I think I just got so caught up in doing a good job and being, like, on top of it, that if there was anything turbulent, mm-hmm. then I felt like I was turbulent. And so I just like this whirlpool of getting caught up with it and not zooming out and seeing the bigger picture.
I can see that. Okay. And let's kind of disassociate. Let's kind of think about you as a person. The things that you were doing, what are the things that you were doing for fun back at your corporate job compared to what you find yourself doing for fun nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of it's the same. Like, a lot of it's the same. I think it's how I approach it that's a little bit different. I love being outside. That's been a constant in my life. Mm-hmm. So hiking is huge. Any moment I could, just like go outside, go to a local trail, even just going for a walk outside, just kind of experiencing sun in that manner, like, just changes my mood entirely.
Exactly.
I would say things that I just have more free time. And I think, like, to me, it's so valuable. So having more free time gives me opportunity for more hobbies, more time to invest. So I'd say, like, the hobbies themselves, like, I started rock climbing 3 years ago, and that's been a pretty big staple in my life. But that's been constant. It's just the amount of hours I'm spending and, like, the mental that goes into it. Like, something like rock climbing, I don't do if I'm feeling really anxious.
I understand.
Like, I'm not going to put myself on the wall if I feel really heightened. Mm-hmm. And in that time, I was feeling pretty anxious a lot. So it's like the time spent wasn't on that as much.
Okay. All right. And just the whole process of, you know, just the whole process of life, you know, just how life has been treating you. What would you say has been some of the most challenging times?
Oh my gosh. From like recently, what are we talking?
Anything. You could be talking about when you was a kid and you fell. And
yeah. Oh man, did I fall? Yeah, I think the biggest part of life that's been kind of thematic is just, like, loss in general. Like, I have lost a lot of people that are close to me, and every time it still is going to hit the same. Like, it's not because you've experienced, losing someone, that the next one is a walk in the park.
Understand.
And that might be like a loss of a relationship. That might be like a death in the family. Like loss is just a really sharp awakening to how temporary things are in life. And I think that's always kind of what it comes back to for me.
Okay.
Is it like feels like a snap into the present moment of like, this is real, this is happening, and it's going to happen no matter how I deal with it. Like life goes on, today will happen no matter how I handle today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the one thing about I like to ask, the reason why it was what was the most unchallenging, because I do like to ask like what did you learn from it, and like how does that pertain to you today?
Yeah. I think that it just makes this moment even sweeter. Like whether it's a great moment or a moment where you're grieving, like this too shall pass. And I think there's a reason why that quote is so popular and people kind of gravitate towards it and use it as a saying in their own lives, because no matter how good or how bad you perceive this moment is, like this is going to pass. Mm-hmm. No matter what you do, the time will pass anyways. And so you can take it in strides and just not losing myself in the process. It's so easy to get caught up in all of the noise, all of everything that's happening, whether it is my obstacle, your obstacle, whatever it is. And like, you can have that drag you down. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like my greatest obstacles in life have become my greatest opportunities.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. That really is great. Okay. Now let's inspire some people here.
Let's try it.
It's people. You're obviously you've been to college and you've been through that patch. I'm about to put myself through it again.
Love that.
Yeah, for people that's watching this, that's in college, that don't have anything to look towards, what if you could kind of go back to where you were in college and what kind of kept you going?
Oh man. College was interesting because I feel like I was not too dissimilar from anybody. It's like you're trying to figure out who you are. You're also trying to get good grades and have a social life and look a certain way, be a certain way, like figure out where you fit in, have hobbies and do extracurriculars, stay in shape somehow, like on campus with campus food.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot. But I think in college, it's like just like finding yourself, like taking the time to find out who you are and not getting caught up in who everyone else is pretending to be. Because everyone's putting on a mask. Like everyone's trying to fit in, and it's like chameleons. Like you go in a room and you just match. You go in another room, you like change colors. And it's great until you don't know who you are. So just taking the time to find stillness and really dig deep on like what you value.
Okay.
And like being able to say no. That was something I didn't learn like easily in college. It's like saying no to what you don't want to do. You don't have to do everything. No one's going to be offended in the long term if you're like, you know what, I don't want to do that, so I won't. Yeah.
It makes sense. I'll take that for myself. For me, the main thing I really struggle in college is math. My whole life I've been like cheating.
That was my life. I was a math major.
So I pretty much you already answered my question. What's something that helped you? For me, I was about to go back into college. What's something that helps you in the math realm?
Yeah, I practice. Like practice. Take the time to tackle things that are frustrating. Like do something easy, and then give yourself like the confidence to do something hard. Because it would be weird for you to show up in a class that you've never taken before and have all the answers. Like there's no reason to go to college, to go to any class, to learn any skill if the expectation is you'll get it immediately. Like people don't play games where they know that they can speed run the entire game first try. Like
understand.
There's a challenge and it's expected. So if you're struggling, like try to do something easy, build up that confidence, and then get after it. Like know that everyone needs to be a beginner eventually. Like your beginning level might be different than someone else's, but like nothing is supposed to be easy.
Exactly, yeah. And if it was easy, everybody would be Elon Musk.
Everyone would do it.
What type of person were you growing up?
Really competitive, like that came from childhood. I was really vested in sports, so I was always year-round playing sports.
What's your favorite sport to play?
Ooh, soccer or lacrosse, but I think I liked soccer more. Yeah.
That's a lacrosse fan over there.
Oh, okay. I love that. Yeah, I played both for like 20 plus years.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I do love, honestly, I do love watching women's sports more, like, especially in those categories of lacrosse and soccer, because, like, you know, the companionship, you know, I mean, men are brute as hell. Like, fucking, it hurts being a man. Just from experience. I mean,
did you play lacrosse?
No, I played sports, but not. I was a basketball guy. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I love the companionship in women's sports. You know? They care about each other.
Yeah, you got to. It's a team.
They don't give a damn about you on a men's team, especially if you're not the good one.
They just put you on the bench.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, for sure, from experience. But this isn't about me. Let's go back to you being competitive growing up.
Yeah, I mean, it got me through. I think there was a point where I vividly remember this day where I was playing soccer and I was just too nice to everyone. And, like, it'd be the opposite team. And we'd be on the field and I'd be like, oh, you have the ball. Like, you can just have it. And my mom, after that game, she's like, Sid, you gotta get competitive. You gotta pull it together. Like, they're not your friends on the field. Like, I know you want to make friends, but for right now, they're not your friends. You can be friends after the game. So she put me in scrimmages with my brother, who's 2.5 years older, and I would practice with his all-boys team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I would practice with my team, I'd walk over, and I'd finish his practice by scrimmaging with him.
Wow.
And I've never been so competitive in my life after that. Because these guys were, I mean, when you're growing up, right, like, the size difference between, like, 2-3 years is massive.
Exactly.
So I'd be... Yeah, so I'd be
like
half the size.
Like the human body.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd be, like, this small girl, half the size of some of the guys on this team, to the point where it's, like, some of them are, like, nervous to, like, hurt me. And I'm just, like, going after it on these, like, scrimmages, you know, once, twice a week. And it just, like, taught me to work harder because it's not easy. Like, it's, like, size difference in soccer and just, like, speed. Like, I was younger and it made me really competitive. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand what I was talking about when I say guys are pretty brute as hell.
Yeah. No, I get it. I used to play street soccer. So I used to live in this house where there's this big hill and a cul-de-sac, like a little circular thing at the top. And we would set up these little pug goals, the little, like, semicircles, and we'd play it with, like, a $5 miniature ball from, like, Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, no.
And we'd play every night until the street lamps went out.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's dedication.
That's, like, summer. That's, like, my core summer growing up.
Yeah, I definitely have some memories of flashback playing outside all day. Oh, if I could go back to that.
I know.
All I had to do was worry about where my bike was at.
Yep.
Okay,
funny.
I want to ask you about let's inspire some more people. For people that's watching this, that's maybe at a certain point in their life where that's the question. So for people that's watching this, the young ladies and the young gentleman that's watching this that just goes out to the club every weekend, that doesn't really have any other good hobbies, what is something that you would say to them because you can't do that every week?
No, I mean, you can try.
Yeah.
You're going to get real tired real fast.
Ain't going to be broke.
Yeah, also true.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a good bar night. I do. Like, once every couple months, whatever. You can have your own cadence, but if you're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's crazy. You'll see the same people Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's like, that is a hobby, and it's not sustainable. And a lot of people are there. They don't know what else to do.
The followers, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Maybe that was a little bit too rash. I don't want you to be out here calling people followers. I take it back. But yeah, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
That's so funny.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I think a lot, and that's not the greatest thing for me.
You can think whatever. It doesn't matter. Got to be like a little unapologetic with it.
That's one thing I'm learning with this podcast, to just double down on what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, but
your people will find you.
They better. I ain't doing this for nothing. Like,
I love it.
Let's if for someone watching this that's looking to get into new hobbies, you have vast hobbies, rock climbing, that's crazy. I don't even know how to swim. But
it's never too late to learn.
Yeah, I do need to learn this summer, 100%. But talk to people that's looking to get into new hobbies, like what would be your advice to them?
Yeah, try everything. Like, learn how to be a beginner first. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not willing to be a beginner, and honestly, if you're not willing to fail, like, you'll never learn a new skill.
Exactly. Yeah.
So fail, try, like, aim to fail. Try as many things as you can, and like, try hard. Like, it's always this like social image for people to just be effortless at everything they do, and it's like great to watch someone fail as they try hard.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's something that like every hobby I have kind of has taught me. It's like this universal thread of like, it is awesome if you're trying hard. And people respect it. Like, people will look at you and be like, wow, that's awesome, I want to try hard now.
They even help you,
Yeah, I mean, sunshine is free. The outdoors, free. Like, go on a walk, go on a hike, go for a bike ride. I got my bike for $75 off Facebook Marketplace in like 2015. I still ride the same bike.
Still ride like it's brand new?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Like, go secondhand, get your gear, do your thing, like, commit to it. And like, do it alone. Like, if nobody wants to join you, do it anyways.
Exactly.
Like, you can invite your friends, but like, if no one's going to go with you, have the confidence to show up somewhere by yourself.
Yeah, that's great. That's great for anybody. I hope you wrote that down, because that's definitely informal. Let's get back into being a yoga instructor.
Sure.
What is the lifestyle of a yoga instructor?
Oh my gosh, the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like 3 days in one.
What?
Yeah, you wake up. I wake up. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak to every single yoga teacher because we're all on different schedules. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you a little insight into my daily life currently.
All right.
So I'll wake up. I normally teach in the mornings and then the evenings. Mm-hmm. So I might wake up early and then get my bearings together, go teach a morning class. I'll probably drink coffee on the way to this morning class, and then I'll shower, change, and that's like my first day before 10 a.m.
Wow.
And then I feel like showers just reset. So I'll like shower after that and go home, do some admin work, some laptop work, might move my body a little. Like, sometimes I feel like movement helps me kind of stay grounded, centered, whatever. Throw on a podcast, throw on like some music, work a little bit, have any business meetings, and then I'll teach in the evenings. Yeah.
What type of music would you cut on?
Ooh.
Can I guess the person you listen to? I'm just gonna guess.
I don't think you'll be able to guess it.
Oh,
but yeah, you can.
Okay, let me just. The cup is the color of the cup. Everything matters.
Oh God.
Luke Combs.
Is that country?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, country music is bad?
It's not bad.
It's great.
It's not bad.
It's great. Yeah,
Am I putting it on? No.
Oh, it's just me. Okay.
I respect it. I'm not gonna turn it off, but I'm not gonna turn it on.
So what's your go-to then?
Probably like R&B.
Oh wow, R&B.
Yeah, or something similar to like K Tronada. J. Cole's definitely my go-to.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, he's like been one of my top 5 on Spotify for like 6-7 years.
Wow, shout out to J. Cole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, big fan.
Okay. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, finish your day as a yoga instructor.
Oh, yeah. Second day is admin work, kind of like independently / business meetings, whatever that looks like. I'll do a lot of like emails, networking, marketing. I kind of run the ship on my own company, so it's one of those things where if it doesn't get done, like, it gets done at night.
Exactly.
And I'd rather do it during the day. But every now and then I'll have a free day where I'll work the night before because I know it's sunny. And so I'll intentionally stay up a little later, work, and then go outside midday. So I'll go for a hike, a walk, bike, whatever. I don't know. Go in the woods. Go touch some grass.
All right.
And then in the evenings, I teach 3 evenings, Monday through Friday, out of the week. And yeah, so we'll go down south of the city, go to a studio, teach a class, and then the rest of the night I normally go to the gym, take another yoga class as a student, or do another hobby. Yeah.
Wow. That's a one day.
Yeah, see, 3 days. Morning class, midday, and then evening class.
Wow. I don't know how you do it.
It's easy when it's things you love. Mm-hmm. Like, it's easier to wake up for something that you are excited about. Mm-hmm. Like, no one has a hard time waking up for a vacation.
Exactly.
But everyone has a hard time waking up for work on a Monday morning.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, for somebody watching this that's maybe looking to get into yoga, what are some essential, don't you know how you have like a starter pack? What would be a starter pack for yoga?
A starter pack? Maybe a mat, but honestly, like, if you don't have a mat, just use what you've got. If you've got a room with a little bit of space, you just need room to move. So if you're at home and you don't have a mat, like, don't let that stop you. You can do your thing on carpet, whatever. You could find a lot of great people, say, like, on YouTube, but if you can get in a studio, go to a studio, because it's such a better experience, and it's just like the attention of a teacher looking at you and like knowing that you're new and helping you out and like kind of holding your hand through it is so important. Like, I wish I had gone to a studio sooner, because working from scratch at home is so much harder than having someone inspire you in person. And you get so much more out of the class. Like, it's not just about the physical practice, and I don't think that practicing by yourself is what it's all about. But just like finding your community, finding your tribe, being able to like integrate into different class styles. The biggest thing I'd recommend if you're in a studio is try as many teachers as you possibly can. Like, try as many different styles of yoga, as many different types of teachers, like try everything, like cast a very wide net. And then you'll be able to kind of niche down to the ones you like. But just because you go to one class that you don't like doesn't mean that you don't like yoga.
Okay.
Because there's a million different types and teachers, and like, people might not like my class.
Exactly.
And I'm always like, if you didn't like my class, go to another class. Go to a different teacher. Go to a different style. Everyone's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and we briefly touched on some of the pros of yoga early on, but if you had to be upfront with the people watching, what are some of the cons, some of the things that are not the best about yoga?
Yeah, I feel like if it is not balanced with the rest of your life, that can be dangerous. Like, if yoga is your entire personality and that's all you do every day, then it's just like anything else. Like, it's everything in moderation. I think it's easy to compare yourself. Everyone's like, oh, well, I can do a handstand. Okay, great. Like, what does that mean for your life? Like, to me, I trained that for a couple years, and now I'm finally at a point where I feel really good about it. That's a huge win for me, not because I can do it, but because I know that I trusted myself to work hard for years to get to that point. Okay. So it all depends on your why. Like, I always kind of preach about having your why, like why you do it, know your why, know your intention, and like, don't compare to other people, because that could be a huge con of you being on your mat next to someone else, and maybe it's your first time in a class and someone else has been there for 10 years. And you never know. Like, I don't know your story, you're getting to know mine, but at the same time, like, we don't know each other like that. So for you to be in a yoga class with me, you could easily be like, man, this girl next to me, like, I'll never be like her. And so as long as you can get out of your head, like, you're good. But I mean, strength training's so important too. Like, don't just do yoga, like, lift heavy.
Exactly.
Lift heavy, do hard things. Yeah.
and as a yoga instructor, how many times do you stretch a day?
None.
What?
No, I mean, I do stretch, but I'm not like in a forward fold for 30 seconds. Like, I'm not like, okay, time to touch my toes. I think I just move throughout the day. Like, before this, I was moving in my room. And so it's like, I just took a song, put it on repeat, and like basically free flowed for like 10 minutes.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so I'm not stretching, like I'm not holding a stretch, but I am moving my body. I think people think of yoga as, okay, touch your toes and hold it and breathe and like also clear your mind, where your mind's never going to be clear.
Exactly.
You can observe it. You can take yourself out of that place and visualize your thoughts as like separate from you. But like they're not going anywhere. Those thoughts will move and come and go, and that's separate from you controlling it. But just being able to like stretch is not really what I think it's all about.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess occasionally I'll stretch, but not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot. I just be moving like all the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's just kind of whatever
so
feels right. So
you have a picture of you doing a split on top of a rock on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
That's if that's not moving, I don't know what is. I was asking you about problems that you see with new students coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem, because I feel like problem almost like indicates there's something to fix. But I would say just trusting themselves. I think we put a lot of weight on doing things perfectly. And so while there is alignment and just execution of like a pose and like doing it correctly or safely, I don't think that people necessarily need to do everything identical to their neighbor. And so I think a lot of people, when they show up for a class, they might compare themselves to the people around them and see the different poses. If you see someone, you know, go upside down in a class and you're like, I have no idea what's happening. Like, I'm just hanging out trying to like figure out what the teacher is saying. Like that, those are two very different people in two different places of their own story. And so like comparing their day 1 to someone's like year 10 can be hard.
I can understand that.
But yeah, just general like self-trust. I think it's hard when someone doesn't trust themselves. If someone's new in my class, I can generally tell by the way they move if they've been athletic their whole life, if they have never been athletic, or maybe they once had yoga in their life and it's been 10 years. They know what they're doing, but there's like this hesitation and caution of I no longer trust myself.
Wow.
So just like generally trusting your body. Like your body gives you so much feedback all the time, and it's just a matter of if you're listening or not.
I understand.
Like it's, people say listen to your body all the time, but it like truly is communicating with you, and there's so much noise outside of our bodies that we don't often pause and find stillness. Even like stillness in movement.
Yeah.
Where stillness isn't like the absence of things happening. Stillness is like the ability to be with yourself and feel that and know exactly what you need. Yeah.
Wow. I know we've been talking a lot about yoga and everything, but I do want to take a minute I do respect this conversation a lot, because you could take everything we said and just put it to anything, to making lemonade, and it gives a good, you know, step back self-reflection on life, you know. So I was excited because I knew you were going to have some great stuff to say that I could use for myself, you know, and that people will hopefully wrote down some notes for. I hope they got a pair. Usually I got my paper down. I'll take little notes down, but it's okay. I got it all up here and right there. Any special events you have coming up that you're excited for?
Next month I'm hosting a retreat. So I do a couple retreats a year. So this upcoming one in June is in Reston. I do a couple local retreats and then normally like one destination. So next month is local. It's in Reston, Virginia on a little lake house. So that'll be really fun. That's coming up in just over a month from now. And then in September, we're going to Yosemite in California. So yeah, so I'm super excited. Yosemite is going to be so special because I was born kind of close to Yosemite, so it almost feels like this full circle moment of going back to somewhere that feels like home.
Full circle, yeah.
And it just feels so sweet. So I'm very excited for that.
I still don't understand. I'm sorry, finish your saying.
Just I'm excited, that's all.
I still don't understand how you ended up from California over here. I know you explained to me there was like a schooling thing and all that, but what is the how's the dynamic different for you from being from California to coming here?
Yeah, I moved when I was younger. So I grew up in Maryland, but my extended family is literally all in California. So my mom, my brother, and I are in the DMV, and then everyone else is West Coast.
Wow.
So yeah, it's different. It's a different pace of life. I did all of my schooling in Maryland, so I still very much feel like a Marylander.
You definitely are.
Yeah, I definitely am. But
I would have never noticed if you would have never told me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my heart is still for sure West Coast. Like, there's nothing better than like the San Diego sun. I feel like I'll end up there one day.
I've never seen that before, but I inspired to go there and see it.
You have to go.
From just talking to you, it sounds like it's fun.
Yeah, it's a really
San
it's a
Diego
good place
sun?
with good people.
Wow, is that like a town or something? San Diego sun? Or it's just you're literally talking about.
I'm literally talking about the sun in San Diego.
Damn.
It hits different. I'm telling you.
I can't even fathom I barely even. I got a lifetime to go ahead of me, and hopefully college doesn't keep me down so I can travel. Hopefully it might be virtual. Is college virtually while you're traveling? Is that a smart thing to do?
Yes. When I was, I took a little car camping trip down, I guess up rather, in the Finger Lakes in New York. And on the drive back home, the person I was seeing at the time was literally in his orientation for grad school as we're on this road trip. So he's like taking classes as I'm driving for like 10 hours.
Holy moly.
So, I mean, you didn't hear it from me.
He heard it.
But if you're trying to do school virtually, you might as well do it from somewhere fun.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming again. I had a great conversation with you. Let me see if I asked other questions. Yep, I asked you that. Yep, you asked it. So basically, when I asked you what you wanted to do, what you like to do outside of with your profession, you basically just said go outside.
Yeah. I love going outside. I mean, I love hanging out with friends too. Like, I think I'm always recharged when I see friends, but I normally will see them in like a very chill setting. Like, seeing someone one-on-one will always mean more to me than like going to a party. So like cafes, walks, things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I spend a lot of time just like walking, hiking, biking, like exploring. Like, take a new class, take something that scares you, that like you're not sure about, like do something different.
Yeah, for me, I definitely need to learn how to swim.
Do it.
I know how to swim, but she don't think I know how to swim.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you got to prove yourself.
I don't know. I'm scared to.
No. See, probably because you can't swim.
Well, that's my personal problem, guys. It has nothing to do with me. Thank you again, Sidney, for coming. I hope you come back again and we can talk some more, have more great conversations.
Would love that.
Do you have anything else planned for today?
Today, I'm not going to Preakness. I've actually never been. I'm not a true Baltimorean.
It's okay.
But I will be going to a little bit more downtown in the city, and then I'll be teaching a class tonight. My Friday nights are like religiously teaching this class at the climbing gym. And then sometimes I'll climb after. So yeah, it's kind of my Friday night routine.
The climbing gym, Friday nights. Okay, so if you need to figure out where she's at, that's where she will be. That's where I'm at every Friday night. Wow. Thank you for coming again. Thank you for having me. Goodbye, people. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. And tune in next time for great content like this. And until then, goodbye.